All right, what is up, you guys? We are here with another WWE DVD rant video, and you haven't been on my channel in a while, so it's awesome to have you back. You know, it feels like the old times back when, us few channels would make videos together, so go ahead and introduce yourself.
Well, my name is Nick Kurtz. If you've watched my channel before, you would know that I stopped making videos about 3-4 months ago. I'm kind of getting the urge to possibly get back. Definitely you being back has helped kind of create that urge a little bit. But this video ain't exactly going to be the best. But, we got to do it.
You know what, though? I got the ranting fuel, and that's all. That's all I need.
Here's my ranting fuel, just a little water bottle.
Oh, that's some hardcore shit right there. That'll get.
It'll totally get me through this.
Oh man! All right, so I will credit our good old friend Gemini, because I remember back in the day, he would rant about this DVD.
Yes.
And I actually bought this the week it came out. We got the World Heavyweight Championship.
Baby.
I'll tell you what, though, this was my all-time favorite belt, the big gold belt. So much history behind this belt, and I think they forgot a little bit of the history here. You want to explain what they fucking did to this belt?
Well, I mean, first of all, I gotta give Dan a little credit here. One of the biggest things right away in the documentary was they would go from champion to champion. They would explain the early origins. They would go through with everything. And the first thing that I noticed right away was when they skipped over Kerry Von Erich winning the NWA World title. They just completely skipped over it. They went to Dusty and Ric Flair in '84, and they were going from champion to champion to champion. And then after that, it becomes just downhill.
Yeah, they skipped a few historic moments here.
Absolutely.
But they straight up lied when they said, "Oh yeah, the title went away from me for a few years." Fuck you.
Yes.
But yeah, it just the thing that pisses me off about this DVD is, I don't know if anyone else has this problem, but you have the same intro over and over again for every match. It's literally, and it's not even like a good intro. It's just fucking annoying. It's like it's like a little Sting intro, and it's just like, I hate it. It's like you're listening to a radio pod or like a radio cast back in the day when they would have those really bad like intros, and you would just have to listen to it, and then you would get to the content, and then it's just like this. Every time you hit skip for a match, oh look, it's the intro, and with the annoying music. Like, you could at least change it up. Or, here's a good idea, play that intro once. I'll never forget when I watched this for the first time. I was going through the matches, and I will say, decent match selection. And it's just like, over and over again, you have to listen to this intro. I can compare it to the Oh My God DVDs, the OMG.
Oh.
Yeah.
We're starting on that one.
You have that. Oh, that'll be featured in the
Oh my
episode.
God.
Yeah. And it's just like, you have that god-awful music and intro for every moment. 50 times you have to listen to that thing. Like, Jesus. I remember when that came out, like, I was one of those people, and I'm sure you were, that got it pretty close to when it came out. You had no idea, and you just have to listen to that over and over and over again.
I'm not even kidding, and this is separate from the World Heavyweight DVD. I'll be very quick about this. I don't own that DVD, but I saw it one time at my friend's house at Netflix in 2011, and one time was more than enough for that one. And you could say for this one too, documentary-wise.
Yeah, and the difference between this, because this was one of 3 DVDs where you had that digibook artwork, and
Yes.
I love the artwork. Don't get me wrong.
Yep.
Simpler the better, man. You know, the red is beautiful. The big gold belt's beautiful.
Yep.
I
I've
love
seen.
the I love the plastic pages you get. This gets an
Exactly.
A. This gets an A+ for packaging. And the difference between this one, this was the last one they released for this kind of series,
Yep.
and then you had the hardcore title DVD, which to me is kind of different. But this one had a documentary, whereas the WWE title and the Intercontinental title one, they did not have a documentary. And back then I was like, oh, cool, a documentary on the title. Where now I just regret saying that. And it's just like, it's a perfect example of WWE making their own history
Yes.
to cater to themselves. This is
Yeah.
just.
Can I get into one of my big gripes here? Something that's bothered me personally.
Yes.
So I don't know if you'll be able to see this or not because it depends on where I'm putting this at my bad webcam. But something that has always bothered me on the front of the title of the DVD, it says 1905 to 2009. 1905. That's a long time ago. And I don't know if this bothers anybody else, but the first match is not until 1961 when they say 1905 was the starting point. The first match isn't until 1961. 2 out of 3 falls count anywhere match for Pat O'Connor versus Buddy Rogers. And also, my DVD is so bad it's falling apart right now as we speak because the table is falls out. But whatever.
Um, I'm actually surprised that they acknowledged 1905. I wouldn't be surprised if they said 2002. Because that's when Eric Bischoff, he awarded Triple H the title.
Yep.
I'm surprised they even went back to 1905 because knowing Vince McMahon, he's like, oh, I wasn't alive at that time, so history doesn't exist.
That was
So
40 years before he was born.
yeah, I give him credit for that. But yeah, would I love to see some good old black and white matches? Hell yeah, that's when wrestling was just gold. So I'm actually surprised they even went back that far, to be honest.
Yeah, they went back that far. It's just for me personally, I thought maybe they could have a few matches. I know they're very hard and very old, but if they're gonna say 1905 and the first match is until 1961, there's like a huge gap, like where
Well,
there's no matches.
I mean, it's tough because obviously in 1905 you weren't filming matches.
Right.
So, yeah, you could have easily put something from the 50s.
That's what I'm saying, like the 40s, 50s, something, just something.
Yeah, there's a match on YouTube I often go back to. It's from like the 1920s, and I love very early wrestling.
Yes.
Even like old AWA stuff where they just had one camera angle. I love that stuff. It makes you feel like you're there. And whatever. I love just that classic black and white. Back when people thought it was legit. Back when they bought into it. That rhymed. I'm sorry about that, but
It's fine.
fucking leprechaun over here. But it's the ranting fuel. That's what's doing it.
Yeah, there you go.
But if you advertise 1905, go back as old as you possibly can.
Yep.
I understand you can't go back to 1905 for obvious reasons. So this is pre-Titanic we're talking about. But it wouldn't hurt to go back to the 40s and 50s because I know that they are capable of that. So, like I said though, I actually give them credit for saying 1905. I do, because knowing Vince, that's probably not something that probably wasn't his decision. Let's be honest.
No. Probably the DVD department's decision. So, yeah. But, there's so much more, you know, it was good up until about the 80s. When it came to the mid 80s, that's when they really started to just kind of change everything. It was good for a while, but towards the end of the doc, it just, you know, stuff with Ron Simmons, you know, I don't know if we get into that now or a little later, but
Oh, go ahead.
so in 1991, Ric Flair left WCW to go to WWF in like late 91, early 92, I'm going to say. Can't remember
Yep.
exactly when he went to WWF. And, on the DVD, they say, they need to crown a new champion. They needed, since Flair was the champion when he left, whatever. And they skip all the way. They skip, oh God, who was it? I think it was, why is the name not ringing a bell? Sorry. They skipped whoever was the champion before, and they went straight to August of 92 with Ron Simmons. And the reason they did that was because Ron Simmons is a WWE legend. So they just skipped, facts from before.
Are you talking about Michinoku?
Masahiro Chono, I think, also.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just like you make a documentary about the title and you skip, they completely just lie.
Yes.
They lie out of their teeth.
Yes.
They're just like, yeah, the title was vacant for a little while. It took a break.
And they say like, oh, it changed the WCW title in like the early 90s and the late 80s when it wasn't until a little bit later on in WCW that it changed. To me, lying to your audience is the number one biggest no-no, in my personal opinion, because you don't do that. Be truthful.
Well, it's because they just don't see you very highly.
Oh yeah, I know.
They think you're gonna believe it, and let's be honest here. A lot of the people in their audience in 2010, they don't know about where the title was in the early 90s. They think, oh, it was a WCW title. That's it. And then you have 2002 where it's awarded to Triple H. Oh, brain split. Yippee. They don't know about the title's history. To me, this is the most prestigious title in the history of professional wrestling. And it's unfortunate because a lot of your modern fans, they'll say, oh, no, the WWE/WWF title is the most prestigious. No, fuck you. This one is the most prestigious title in history.
I don't think a spinner belt is pretty prestigious, but that's just my opinion.
Oh, you don't love... Oh, my God, it's the spinner. It spins. Yeah, no, I agree. And then you have the ugly title belts of today.
Oh.
They're hideous, man. It's bad.
No creativity.
Oh,
none.
my God. I remember when in 2013 The Rock unveiled the new WWE title belt, and I was like, wow, that is fucked. And then, to make it worse, you have the new logo, which is just more cartoonish than ever. And it's just it's embarrassing to me when people buy the replica belts nowadays. You have all the women's titles. They're so gimmicky. They're red and blue. It's too gimmicky. And, even the tag belts, they look better than the world belts, which is sad. But it's just, title belts are just, it's sad. Say what you want about AEW, but they know what a world title belt should look like. And even the North American title, NXT, that's a great belt. And it's just unfortunate. They're an entertainment company. I get that. You got to cater to the audience when they should be catering to the diehard fans who they want to see belts that look like this. And to me, the last great WWE title belt was the Undisputed belt in 2002. That's the last one that they introduced that I think looked prestigious. Where they just look like toys.
Yeah. Yeah, no, when Eddie won the title, like I still love that shot that they had in San Francisco with the old WWE title, you know.
Yep.
It was, and then Benoit winning at WrestleMania 20. I mean, could you imagine? There you go.
Yep.
Could you imagine, Benoit winning the World Heavyweight title with, like, what they would think of creativity now in 2004?
Oh, God. Yeah, imagine him holding up the little cartoonish belt. Like, that picture would mean absolute jack shit.
Yeah.
Whereas, him holding this up,
Yes.
that's my favorite moment in wrestling history. Him and Eddie. Oh, my God. Like, it's just, that brings tears to my eyes to this day. Him and Eddie holding up those two belts as world champions together. But, yeah, I don't want to make this a Chris Benoit tribute show, as I tend to do. But
no. That was my fault. I mentioned it.
My all-time favorite wrestler. But, what are your final thoughts on this DVD?
Well, it's a piece of shit. And it's one of my absolutely hated DVDs. I hate that DVD more than I hate the Top 50 Superstars. Because as bad as that DVD was, at least they don't go out and lie to your audience. I mean, putting Hogan at 23 or 24 is pretty fucked up. And I'm sorry, if I cussed, whatever, but but at least that's an opinion based. Although they probably had the list pre-listed because come on, are the superstars really going to say Hogan's the 24th best superstar? Give me a effing break. But lying to your audience, making your audience dull, and manipulating them into wanting them to believe what you want them to believe, it's just so wrong. If you messed up, admit you messed up. Don't try to fabricate it to what you want it to be.
Well,
that's just how it is.
First of all, you're on the DVD Freaks channel. You can say what the fuck you want. And second of all, you have a good point. As much as I hate the Top 50 Superstars DVD, this is one of the few that actually blatantly lied to you and expected you to go along with it.
Yes.
That just shows you how much they respect their audience. And
Zero.
Yeah, this is just, it's sad because it's my favorite title belt ever, and they just bastardized it and made it their own. And it's all for their own gain. And I think the saddest part is 90% of the people that watched this DVD probably believed it.
Yep.
And
I did in the beginning. Okay. Because that was when I was first starting to get into wrestling. How am I supposed to know any better when I'm first starting to get into wrestling,
And the other thing is, it's just like, it's tough because, you have this prestigious title, and a lot of people that bought this DVD, they were growing up with wrestling. So they're going to spread this. They're going to think and spread this along that this is the history of this title.
Yes.
And it really it's upsetting because
it's like a sword in the back. It's like they took a sword and just put you out in misery.
And this generation, they're not going to understand that this is false. No. So they're going to spread this around. And I was glad in 2013 when they got rid of this belt. I really was, because I was so sick of this being it
wasn't worthy with what they're putting out there of continuing.
All right, let's look at WrestleMania 29. Nothing against both these wrestlers. You have Del Rio versus Swagger for the World Heavyweight title. And they didn't see much of them. They're two great talents, don't get me wrong. But you have to look at how they were viewed at this point.
Yeah.
This was a filler match, and I'm glad this belt is no longer around, because they can no longer bastardize it, and they can no longer destroy it. Because that's what they did.
Yes.
It was a great secondary belt for the brand split. But it's hard to take it as a secondary belt with the history of it because, like, this is 10 times more prestigious than the WWE belt. I'm sorry,
Yes.
it is.
Yes.
It is. Come on.
Yes.
But, yeah, anyway, where can we find you?
Well, you can find me on Instagram, Nick_Kurt2020. Friend requests me there. I don't have many followers, but if I see that a few of the big YWC players are following you, then I'll let you in. Nick_Kurt2016 on Snapchat. Made it without realizing you can't change the username. And you can find me here, Nick Kurtz on YouTube, although there's no videos that have been posted in 3 months, but that might change, just might change, but we'll see.
Yeah, you
We'll
should,
see.
you should change that.
Because I'll just say this, like I looked this past month, I got 14 new subscribers, and I haven't even made a video yet in 3 months.
Hey man, if you're gaining subscribers when you're on a hiatus, that's a sign. So even if it's just 14, that's a sign that 14 people saw you as something enough to subscribe. So as always, another fun rant video talking about a absolute piece of garbage DVD.
Piece of shit.
Oh my god. And yeah. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. For now, this has been the DVD Freak. Peace out.
Peace out, guys.